The home where Yelm resident Vernon Jake Horst lived for about 70 years burned to the ground the night of February 3rd. Firefighters were still on scene the next afternoon. While the fire was out, the rubble where the house once stood still smoldered. Horst's neighbor, Lee McGill, pulled him from the burning building the night of the fire. On Tuesday, McGill received a life-saving award from Southeast Thurston Fire Authority for saving Horst's life.
So on February 3rd, we were dispatched to a fire in a private residence out on the 123rd area. And while we were en route to the call, we realized that there was potentially somebody missing, possibly trapped in the house. And during that response, Mr. McGill was already busy. He had gone to his neighbor's house, which is Jake's. When he arrived there, he tried to get into the front door, and he couldn't do that. He was pushed back by the amount of heat and smoke and fire. He goes to the rear of the structure, and he attempts to get in that way. That doesn't work either, too much heat and smoke. Now, at this point, most of the time, this is when the rescue would probably be about over with, but not with Mr. McGill. He then goes to probably the only window that doesn't have fire coming out of it, and he climbs in, and he first finds the dog, right back here, Sadie, and gets her out, but he has a hard time finding Jake. Well, right about that time, something we call flashover happens in the front room. And now for firefighters in full protective gear, we're lucky to survive it. He's wearing civilian clothes, but it blows the door open far enough that he can make out the silhouette of Jake there on the floor. And he gets him over to the window, gets up to the window, and a deputy was the first arriving emergency responder, helps pull Jake out the window, followed by Lee, and probably 45 seconds later, that room is no longer compatible with life because of fire and smoke. So no doubt, no question that Mr. McGill actions saved the life of Jake. I know tonight we had a couple of responders here, at least one, paramedic Kohler in the back was part of that call, and actually treated Jake from the scene all the way to Harborview, I believe. So that would be one of the paramedics. So on behalf of our organization and all of our auto aid partners, Lacey, Medic 1, Olympic Ambulance, Sheriff's Office, Lacey Fire District 3, Bald Hills, East Olympia Fire Department, we present to you, come on up, Lee.
Come on up, okay.
This award right here.
Oh, wow.
Let's get Jake up here.
Come here, old man.
Peter Donald. There's Sadie.
Come on, Sadie. You good to go? You didn't know you were so famous, That was one of the best stories I ever heard.
I want to thank all the firemen that were there. I mean, it was incredible.
Isn't that pretty? Well, I wish to thank all of you for helping me, for what you could.
I can say as one of those that responded also at that night, when I was talked to Mr. McGill that night, he wasn't done. He stuck around and wanted to help put the fire out and everything else too. So he really put forth a lot of extra effort.
Yeah. Yeah, I was there the next day too.
For the excavator, huh?
Yeah.
Could have put your house out.
Well, we're also always looking for good volunteers. So.
Yeah, I'm good.